What's up, everybody? My name is Dana Harris with Young Gurus Math Tutoring, and I'm back again to drop some more math jewels. In this video, I want to show you how to add and subtract complex numbers. Yeah, we're getting into some heavy stuff. Complex numbers. So, first of all, in order to add and subtract complex numbers, you have to know what a complex number is. So, a complex number is when you have the sum of a real number and an imaginary number. So, a complex number looks like this. It's in the form a plus bi. A is a real number and b is an imaginary number. And so whenever I have the sum of a complex number, then it looks like this. I have a plus bi. Let me put something in between the plus c plus di. Then that equals a plus c plus b plus d times I. And then if I have the difference, which represents subtraction, then I have the difference of a plus bi minus c plus di. That equals a minus c plus b minus d times I. All right? I know it's already some heavy stuff, but watch. I got you. I got you. Example 1. Let's say I have the term 9 plus 2i plus 3 minus I. Okay, so now I need to take the real parts, and the real numbers are 9 and 3. So I want to say 9 plus 3 plus the imaginary parts. So 2 plus negative 1, or technically 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 I. Okay, so I added the real parts. The real parts are 9 and 3. The imaginary parts are 2 and negative 1. So that gives me 12 plus 1i, or simply 12 plus I. That's my final answer right there. So all we're doing is we're taking the real parts of both of the terms and adding them, and then we're taking the imaginary parts and adding them and put the I next to it. Okay? Let's do example 2. So example 2, I have 2 minus I minus 5 plus I. This is going to get weird, man. So I want to take the real parts, so 2 minus 5. Those are the real parts from the complex numbers. And then plus, I want to say negative 1 minus 1. Okay, so this is a positive 1, so I have negative 1i, which is that negative 1, minus, and then this is positive 1, so 1. Keep my I there. All right, so 2 minus 5 is negative 3, and then plus negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And keep the I. So we can simplify this to negative 3 minus 2i. All right. Be very, very mindful of your positives and your negatives, your pluses and minuses and things like that when you're doing these examples, because it can get very tricky. Okay, so be very mindful of those. Let's do, I think I have 1 or 2 more examples for this one. Let's see. I have 2 more examples. Example 3. Example 3. I have 3 minus 6i plus 7 plus 28i plus I. All right. 3 terms, same concept. I'm going to add the real parts, and then I'm going to add the imaginary parts. So I'm going to take all the real parts. So I have 3 or 3 plus 7, and that's it, plus, let's take the imaginary parts. Now this is -6 plus 28 and then plus 1 with an I on the end. So 3 plus 7 is 10, and then -6 plus 28 is 22, plus 1 is 23, so plus 23i. All right, so same concept, just different. Okay. I'm not going to tell y'all what just happened. I wrote the problem wrong, but I solved it correctly. So we're going to roll with it. That's the beauty of mathematics. That's what that long pause was for. I realized that I didn't write the example the way it was written in my notes, but I still worked it out properly. So have no fear. Example 4 is here. I want you all to know these examples aren't perfect, or my videos aren't perfect. I think sometimes we can try to make it seem like everything's perfect, but that time, hopefully you'll get a laugh in this one. This time I'm going to make sure that I write it properly. So I'm going to look at the example again. So -I plus 9 minus 2i minus 5 plus 7i. I wrote it correctly this time. And we're going to do it. Remember, let's get the real parts first. So this is real. So I have 9 minus 5 plus -1 minus 2 minus 7i. Okay? 9 minus 5 is 4. And then plus -1 minus 2 is -3. Minus 7 is -10i. So we can write this as 4 minus 10i. And that's your answer. Be very, very cautious, like I said, when you're going over these, because one sign that gets miswritten can make a big difference. Sometimes students think, oh, it's just a negative. That's a big difference when you mess up a sign. And it gets frustrating when you work through a problem and you realize that your calculations were correct except for you missed out on a negative or something like that. Young Guru's Math Tutoring. I got the solution to your math problem.